Yo, what is going on, guys? So on today's episode, we are going to be taking a look at why men are no longer approaching women. It's actually gotten so bad, guys, that some of the women in this video have taken to trying to find their husbands in Home Depot because nobody wants to marry them. So without further ado, let's jump in. Let's take a listen as to why are men not approaching women anymore. As always, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. And we're going to be kicking it off with this one right here, who's a little bit angry that chivalry is dead.
Some men of TikTok seem to be confused of what chivalry is. Here are some chivalrous acts that men should do when you are dating them. When you're going into a restaurant, he should definitely be opening the restaurant door for you, period. Like, if he's not, like, that's weird. Say you guys are walking down the sidewalk, he should be on the outer side of you. You should be on the inside of the sidewalk, he should be on the outside of the sidewalk. Say you guys are going shopping, he should definitely be holding your shopping bags. Now, I'm not saying he needs to hold every single one and you have none, but it's like the first 2 or 3 shopping bags he should definitely take hold of. The car door is an extra plus in my opinion. Doesn't need to happen all the time, but it's like a nice every now and again thing. If you guys are leaving dinner, he's walking beside you, he should open the car door. Like I said, that's just like a bonus point 1. Say you're outside, you're cold, he has a jacket on, this is a +2, he should give you his jacket, period. That's just a nice thing to do. I know the men are going to hate this because they're like, oh my god, it's 2021, but ladies, do not lower your standards.
Sometimes
You see, this is why so many of these women are single and they still can't find a man, okay? So she says, don't lower her standards here. Don't lower your standards, ladies. But the question you have to ask yourself is, why are men not doing this stuff anymore? So you have a woman here who's asking for, essentially, she wants to be treated like a lady. She wants to be treated like a traditional woman. But the question is, obviously, is she a traditional woman herself? Right? It's all very well and good to expect chivalry from men and, expect respect from men. But the question is, do you deserve it? Right? Why should a man treat you like a lady when you're not a lady? Right? And you might be saying, Taylor, that's a little bit harsh. How do you know she's not a lady? And my answer to that is, well, ladies probably wouldn't be jumping on TikTok making abrasive cringe videos with 3-foot long nails. That's my answer to that question. Okay? The girls who are, actually princesses, right? Who are actually, more along the traditional lines, they don't make TikTok videos. They are very, very few and far between these days, thanks now to womanism, okay? I can't even say that word on YouTube anymore, really, guys, but because videos get flagged these days, that's how bad it is. But womanism has infected so many modern women that there's literally no point for a lot of guys to go out here and treat these women as though they're princesses, because they're not. That, you're not going to find ladies anymore. Very, very rare indeed. Let's jump on to the next clip here. And of course, this one's a podcast. And I don't know how you guys watched this. I thought my accent was bad, guys. This is something else. Let's take a listen.
sometimes a woman can talk her out of a relationship. You can talk. We do that.
Yes,
we will talk.
I'm gonna say something, and this might ruffle little feathers. I don't think just being a good man is enough to stay in a relationship with them.
But when I say a good man, I mean he's good. That means all around. That means himself, spiritually, mentally, physically.
That's great.
Healthily,
but
he's a good man.
That doesn't mean that he's the man for you. And
right.
Maybe when you're going through these motions of getting to know him, you're realizing, okay, he's a great person, but honestly, I don't fuck with his humor. Like, he could be funny, but he's not funny.
And that's why a lot of modern women are getting 40 with 4 cats and no man, because he's a good man, but because he's not funny, you gotta throw that out.
Was trying.
I don't know about you guys, but I have such a low tolerance for listening to these podcasts. I simply can't listen to them. I can't sit down and listen to them. These people, like this woman is sitting here. This is a woman who's trying to talk about spirituality, and trying to talk about why women are single at 40. And she's here essentially yelling on a podcast, right? And also, guys, they're talking about humor here and crap like this. I've always been of the opinion that all of this stuff like humor is incredibly overrated. Like, if you're an attractive man, you don't need humor. right? It's kind of like saying, oh, you know, I like a nice man. I like a guy who's nice and he doesn't have to be tall or whatever. It's just like, yeah, humor. It's just totally overrated crap, guys. It really absolutely is. And these women, right? They get to 30, they get to 40. They've been through so many dudes, and now they want to start talking about things like marriage and what constitutes a good man. Absolutely not, man. Because the thing is, the dudes who are good men, right? The guys who have options with women, who have spent their time grinding, who are level-headed, they don't want to date women like this. Women, you know, dressed like this, yelling on podcasts, trying to talk about spirituality. It's just absolutely a no-go. Let's jump into this next clip here. And I think some of these women, this next clip here, is ladies in quotations, trying to find, literally, this is how desperate this has gotten, guys. Trying to find husbands at Home Depot. So I talk a lot on this channel, guys, about how men don't want to get married anymore. There's a huge portion of men who view it as an absolute risk. I myself am one of those. But guys are not interested in getting married anymore. And, you know, a lot of these women are getting quite desperate. Let's take a look at this. So trying to find a husband at Home Depot, TikTok trend. Then this happens. So apparently this is actually a trend. That is crazy. I've muted the video. Good one, Taylor.
Depot TikTok trend, then this happened.
Hey. Doing one of those TikTok trends, trying to find your husband in Home Depot.
Yeah, wait, actually, yes.
My daughter's got an app too. She's doing it. It's not as good looking as you, though.
All right, what do we got here? That gorilla grip. Woo! You are beautiful.
That's my cue to leave.
I have no idea.
Hey, I just want to apologize about my friend's gorilla grip comment. I'm normal, okay, and I do want to say I'm recently divorced, just so you know. Yeah, so
It's not going up.
that was a joke. That was a joke.
Why is it? I don't know why my window.
I am recently divorced, but
Wait, I'm actually, I don't know how.
if you.
Okay,
Okay, so this was obviously a skit, but I think we have one later in the video. There was more of an actual genuine attempt where a couple of women were going in together looking for husbands. But apparently this is actually a trend, like a full-on trend on TikTok, where a lot of women are doing this. Let's jump into the next clip and see what this woman has to say. See, guys, like, no wonder men aren't approaching women anymore. The more videos of these that I see, it's just like, it makes me think of what an absolute clown world we're living in. Let's jump into this one. This one's a pretty short one here, if I can actually click the right thing. Here we go.
Okay, this one's for the ladies. I think I've cracked the code. I think I know where all the single men are. They told us to go to Home Depot. They told us to go to Lowe's. Strike out, strike out. Here's where they are. That's right. It was first day of school today, and my daughter wanted to go there for dinner. And I roll in. I saw about 5 single dads there taking their kids. So this is where it's at. Go and get some chicken. Can't say that I blame them.
You know, do you guys know, this is funny, these women never seem to realize where all of the good men have gone. The good men are actively avoiding women like this. They're probably chilling at home, or they're out working, or, you know, working on their hobbies and things like this. They're not interested in getting involved in a life full of drama and TikTok videos and nonsense and garbage. Guys, the amount of these women who I've seen, right, who they'll be in a marriage or they'll be going through a divorce, and they just spew all of the information about their marriage all over TikTok. You'd be surprised how many women actually do this. So it's like, they're saying that they want men to be in relationships with them and they want men to marry them. But really, there is such a low incentive for dudes to marry and have relationships with a lot of these women. You know, no dude wants to be the next TikTok experiment for these girls to, you know, record. A lot of guys actually value some privacy. Right, there used to be a time, guys, when, you know, it's not even so long ago now, where if someone had an issue in their life, they didn't run to TikTok. They would, you know, go to close friends, close family, things like this. But in the current year, things have gotten a little bit desperate. And I think a lot of these people also have ruined their relationships probably with their family and friends, and that's why they take to TikTok, because they don't actually have as many friends as they think. Let's jump into this next clip here.
80% of guys right now are not comfortable in approaching at all, just because, you know, of social media showing the nightmares that happen.
Excuse me, I have a question. Do you know if you guys have like a pink toolbox at the store? Like, it's literally just like a handy dandy, like everyday toolbox, but it's just like all pink. Have you seen that before?
Did you see it online?
I did. I just didn't see it over there, so I don't know if like.
Could you pull it up for me by any chance?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you though. I appreciate you
looking.
looking.
If you can find it, I could try to help you.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find it online. It might have been a Home Depot, but
okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you looking.
You got it.
Am I the only one who finds videos like this just really creepy? Like, we're just out here recording strangers deliberately. So this is day 33 for this woman. I could make some comments on this video, but again, I would just get banned so very quickly. Day 33 of forcing myself to go out in the wild to find a husband organically. So this is a woman who I think she's in Home Depot right now. I kind of tuned out, to be honest with you. In Home Depot, we're pretending to look for things to try and get dudes to pay attention to us, and we're at day 33. So here's the thing: if you're a girl and you're worth paying attention to, you don't have to go out here fishing for dudes. This is why also I find it really funny how you have women who, you know, they go out to like all of these different places and they dress up and they show off their bodies and everything. That's not going to attract a guy who's actually interested in you, and you don't need to do that. If you're actually a good person, if you're a normal, healthy woman, you don't need to be like showing off your body or spending 33 days in hardware stores. If you're sane, that'll probably help you more than this garbage will. But of course, she's not sane because we're recording random men in Home Depot. I feel for these dudes, right? Because why would you approach women when you have crap like this happening? No dude wants to just be surreptitiously recorded, right, in the middle of his day.
80% of guys right now are not comfortable in approaching at all.
Yeah, see, and that's, you know, you have things like this, which is exactly why. Let's keep going then.
Thank you though. I appreciate you
looking.
looking.
If you can find it, I could try to help you.
Yeah, I don't know if I can find it online. It might have been a Home Depot, but
okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you looking.
You got it.
Thank you. Have a good one. Okay, that was literally so embarrassing because the toolbox is actually at Home Depot and I'm at Lowe's. So when he asked me to pull up the link, I panicked, but.
Okay, so yeah, I wasn't listening. So she's not even at Home Depot, but she's been going the rounds to things similar to Home Depot.
I ended up talking to him, which is baby steps, so yes.
Finding Our Husband's Home Depot edition, part 1.
You hear me?
That was actually terrifying. So this is the duo that I was talking about earlier, guys, the ones who actually went in together to try and find husbands. And you already know this is just not it. It really isn't. If you're a woman and you're like this desperate to find a husband, you've really had to do a lot of things wrong to actually be in this position. I've always said this, but the women who are doing crap like this, they could have had their husbands a very long time ago. They could have had their husbands at 21 years of age. They could have had a family by now, but instead we're in our cars recording TikToks, trying to sneakily record men who probably don't want to be filmed, to be honest with you. And can you guys imagine if you're a dude and you're silly enough to get into a relationship with this woman, now the beginning of your relationship is like documented on the internet for other people to see. It's just weird, it's uncomfortable, and it's incredibly cringe.
Our Husband's Home Depot edition, part 1.
You hear me? Now we gotta look good. Okay. How we doing?
Cute puppy. So many options. I smell victory. Modeling for us.
Can you guys imagine if dudes did videos like this, by the way? You know, going into X place to try and find a wife or a girlfriend or something like this, and then dudes were just out here recording the women talking about how they were modeling for them. Like, the uproar would actually be insane. You would have so many comments of just people getting angry at the dudes for posting a video like this, right? But of course, if you're recording men, then it's totally fine. It's completely appropriate. Never mind the fact that, like, look at this, right? She's recording these dudes, as she goes past here, saying that they're modeling for them. Can you imagine if a dude did this? like really, it's so damn backwards.
For us.
Plan. After we go to the paint aisle, we're gonna go to the plumbing, because you know that's where all the men are. The hardworking men.
And see, this tells you everything you need to know as well. So she says here, we're going to go to the plumbing section because that's where all of the hardworking men are. So I would argue that when these women are looking for husbands, they're not, what they're really looking for is dudes to do stuff for them. They're not actually looking for a guy who they can love and respect, right, and build a family with or anything like this. I think a lot of these women are past having families, getting into geriatric pregnancies if they did want to have kids anyway. Hell, these women are probably single mothers for all I know. I'm getting that kind of, you know, feeling from this video here. But so they're going to the plumbing section because they want to find where all of the hardworking men are. Because obviously, if you get a husband, he has to be hardworking. But all of the flings that we had earlier in our life, they didn't have to be hardworking. But the guy who gets her now when she's like 40 years of age, possibly a couple of kids in tow, clinically insane, has a whole bunch of baggage. That guy who he has to work for you. That's really interesting.
That's where all the men are. The hardworking men.
Those ninja skills. On a mission.
Competition. Get out the way. Competition.
And again, right, so that's the end of the video there, the end of these clips. But just think about how absolutely creepy this is. Okay, and again, because it's women, this is actually a trend on TikTok, guys. This is like not, I imagine these videos wouldn't be particularly hard to find if it's a trend. So what you have here is you have a whole bunch of women going into Home Depot. This woman has literally gone for 33 days, she says, recording dudes because they're so desperate to find a husband or to find, you know, just a guy to marry them. And again, I will stick by these comments on the marriage as well. I think a lot of these women, they're not actually looking for dudes that they can, you know, love and respect and build a family with or anything like this. They're looking for dudes who are going to be the fixer-upper, right? The guy who's going to take care of her, the guy who has some finances, who's going to come into her life and fix all of the problems. They're not looking for love, because if they were looking for the, you know, the love of their life, or they were looking for a genuine marriage built on something a little bit more nice, I suppose, than just using the man, she could have done this when she was 21. I make this point in a lot of these videos, but when women are desperate for a relationship, it's a really red flag. It's such a huge red flag, because if a woman is clinically sane, she can have her relationship so much earlier on in life, and she won't have to resort to spending 33 days in random you know, homeware stores to try and find a guy to wife her up. Even this, by the way, so even though so many men are not interested in getting married anymore, there's still a whole bunch of dudes out there who don't understand the marriage laws, who don't understand that they can lose all of their assets and their kids. And there's a whole bunch of guys who are still ready to get married. But a lot of these girls, you just can't marry them, man. You absolutely can't. If you were to even be completely blind and to ignore all of the laws that are against men who are, you know, that are trying to rob men, even if you were to ignore all of these things, there's such little incentive for dudes to actually go out and marry a lot of these girls. And these women who are complaining about this, I want you guys to notice a lot of them are like 30 or over. I don't know how old this woman is, but typically they're 30 plus years of age. You know, they're single mothers, or they're just clinically insane. And like the people at the beginning of this as well, like the ones that went into the hardware store as a pair, you can tell that if you were to ever try and have a relationship with one of them and it was going well, you can guarantee that the other one is going to come in and sabotage it. So, you know, throughout this entire video, one of which was a skit, you just see so many women who, despite the fact that they are clearly coping and they want a relationship, they want a marriage, they're never going to get it. And if they do, it's going to end and she's going to take him for his crap, or at least she's going to try to do that, which is really sad because a lot of these marriages and a lot of these relationships have kind of degraded to a point where it's only really about what can the man give me. It's not actually about building like a family with the dude who you love and respect. It's about, let's see what we can use the guy for. Okay, oh, I'm pushing 30. I need to have kids. I need to get them as soon as possible. I'm going to get a guy and then I'm going to kick him out of the family unit and make him pay child support. Or, oh, I need to get married, but I don't want to be a wife, right? I want to show off to my friends. I want to get the shiny rock, but I don't actually want to do anything. You know, I don't actually want to be someone who's worth marrying. I want to go around, I want to record my stupid as hell TikTok videos trying to embarrass men and just waste everybody's time and show them why I'm not wife material. And so this is the skit that I was talking about. I'm pretty sure this one's just a straight up skit. But again, guys, if you were to go on TikTok and try and look for some of these videos, I guarantee you'd find a lot of these women who are actively trying to look for husbands and recording men creepily, might I add, in these locations. Right, and one other location as well, just before I end this video as well, guys, is it's something else that's really agitating actually about this is particularly the women who do this crap at the gym. When dudes are trying to go there, they're trying to lift weights, they're trying to be healthier, they're trying to get massive, right? And then they're trying to leave. But you have these women who are sitting there in like booty shorts, recording themselves, trying to catch dudes being quote unquote creepy when they themselves are honestly the predators in these situations. But guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. A bit of a ramble at the end. As always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.